Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, LSP, and it's time to talk about our favorite family. I know y'all didn't think I was going to forget about them. Don't look at my backseat. It's a mess. The Connors. The Connors came back yesterday, so let's talk about it. Are you ready? Let's do this. If you're not a Connors fan, feel free not to watch this video because we get in-depth about the Connors over here. All right, y'all, so last night was Season 2, Episode 1. Welcome back, Connors. But there's one thing that we cannot just let go. Have y'all seen the picture, the promo photo? Take a look at this. Totally decked out in the pattern of the quilt on the back of the couch, which has been on the back of the couch since back when Roseanne first began, right? So that was kind of cool, but still kind of weird, y'all. Bev was back. We missed you, Bev. And Mark and Mary, the little kids, they're getting bigger. There wasn't a lot about them in the episode, so I wanted to go ahead and mention them. All right, y'all. Season 2, Episode 1. Preemies, Weed, and Infidelity. That's the name of the show, right? So I have 3 stories. Preemies being Becky and the baby. Weed being Connor and the pot cookies. And Infidelity being Darlene and her 2 boyfriends, right? All right, y'all, let's get right at this. So we open with Becky. Well, they were in the kitchen. We always open in the kitchen. But Becky's story was Becky came over to talk to Jackie about her birth plan, which was like this big, thick book. Because y'all know Jackie is just extra. If I could give Jackie a shirt, it would be the Beyond Extra shirt from the LSP No Fear and No Regrets shop. But anyway, I digress. So Jackie with her extraness has this whole book. Well, while they're going over the book, of course, Becky's water breaks. Becky is only 7 months pregnant, so her water is broken 2 months early because if you didn't know, Becky's older. She's 40-something. It's considered a geriatric pregnancy, right? So they rush her to the hospital. The entire family goes. You know, they do the hoopla, blue, 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 the funny Connor stuff that they do. And the baby is born. We have a little girl named Beverly Rose. Now, I could have gone straight for Roseanne. Beverly Roseanne. You know, just get right country with it. Little baby Beverly Roseanne. But we know what happened with that name and all that happened last year. And if you read below, you know that Roseanne was our beloved character. And she is missed. So the baby's name is Beverly Rose, named after, of course, Bev and Roseanne. And Jackie's quip was, what was it? Why would you name her after that vessel of evil, which is my mother? We've known throughout the history of the Connors and the Roseanne show that Jackie she doesn't have any words to mince about how she feels about Bev, right? So that was the story of the baby. They haven't come home yet. They're still at the hospital, but the baby was healthy. All right, so story number 2, or the B story. Connor and the weed cookies. Connor is selling pot cookies, and the way they find out about it is a lady comes over and she's telling Dan, hey, there's someone, your granddaughter is selling pot cookies out of this house. My son got sick. I had to stay up with him all night, convincing him of different things. And I ended up taking him to the, emergent care thing. $200. This lady wants her money back, right? So she tells Dan, and Dan's like, well, I'll let her mom know. Well, as she's walking away, the mom, Darlene, walks up. And she's like, look at Darlene, go Connor in there. And Darlene's like, I'm not Darlene. So anyway, Darlene goes and she talks to Connor. Now, if you know anything about this show, Connor is Darlene Jr. Darlene Jr., she's like, yeah, I did it. But I don't do the cookies myself. I just sell them. And, you know, Darlene's like, you can't do this. What are you doing? You can't sell drugs. You know, and she tells her all the things that can happen to a person who sells drugs. And Connor, of course, still being Darlene Jr., is like, you can ground me. Doesn't matter because you're not here. Ooh. So that leads us right on into our C story, which is infidelity. Do y'all remember Ben? Oh my gosh, I love Darlene and Ben together. However, the Darlene and David storyline, of course, gives me the feeling of nostalgia and me remembering them being little kids and wanting them to be together. But as I've always said in the last season, Darlene needs Ben. Darlene's strong personality has to have that resistance. As she pushes against Ben pushes back. But when she pushes David, whoop, he falls over. And so that's the same kind of relationship I saw Roseanne and Dan have. However, Dan has way more of a backbone than David. We know that. So in this episode, it kind of ends with Darlene coming out of the bedroom, and Jackie's like, was that David, that naked man I saw in there? And Darlene ends up telling her, yeah, and all of these different things. But Jackie offers to take Ben off her hands, which is pretty funny. But the one thing that I was concerned about was, why was Jackie there? Why was Jackie there at night in a robe? I don't know. Did I forget something from last season? Can't remember. But y'all, all in all, I enjoyed this episode of The Conners because I just love this show. I loved Roseanne. I loved it when she came back. And I love it now. And yes, she is still missed. But that's it for this episode, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. My question for you is, who do you want to see Darlene with? David or Ben? Comment below. That's it, y'all. I'm done. Take care of yourselves. As always, no fear and no regrets. We're back. The Conners are back. You're awesome.